Hi guys, welcome to Big Loz Official. Today's Talking Strongman guest is the 10-time Danish strongest man, the one and only Rene Minkwitz. You made the final of World's Strongest Man, I believe, in 99?
99, yes.
And competed at World's Strongest Man a total of 5 times?
If we take the Masters, and 6.
Okay.
That's count.
Well, you had a great career in Strongman. Obviously, you won many titles. You won a few international titles through with IFSA. And back in the late 90s, early 2000s, you were a regular face in the Strongman world. So for me growing up, you're definitely one of the guys I used to look up to again and watch, along with the likes of Sven Carlson and Magnus Samuelsson and, all those kind of, if you're kind of my age, we all looked up to you guys. So I remember watching the BBC commentary and they always called you the Great Dane. So it's
very crazy one.
You were quite crazy. You seem to have mellowed a little bit as you've got older, but you definitely look like you
calmed down a lot.
Have you? Is that the wife?
That's my wife.
She's calmed you down, has she?
Yeah.
Well, I got in trouble off you because I said you're only 9 times Danish strongest man in one of my videos a few months back. But
you're right.
You did win 10 titles, but 2 of them were in the same year, so I didn't include.
Year different
federations. So close enough. It's all good.
10 is a nice number.
It's a nice number. It definitely is. How's things? Are you keeping well?
I'm doing well, thanks. 2 weeks ago, I got my. It sounds dangerous, but it's not. DC conversion. I don't know how you call it that in English. To get your heart straight again.
Okay. Yeah.
You get you go into a sleep for 30 seconds and then they give you electric shock and then it's fine again.
Just to get the heartbeat regulated.
Yeah. It's because of the short explanation is like electronic chaos.
Okay.
It's not working together with the chambers in your heart. There's a mixture there. So they fix it with just one shot and that's it. 30 seconds after I woke up and everything is fine.
You feel okay?
I feel very good afterwards because I didn't feel so much up to, but after I feel really good. Yeah. But it was very strange. You go to sleep, you don't know if you wake up again. Yeah. That was just to let go for a minute or so. That was tough, mental.
I bet. Yeah,
but there's no problem with it. They do it every day. So and they were very nice. And I don't know where it's coming from, but they see. My doctor, he told me that they see more and more extreme athletes coming in with this kind of problem. I don't know exactly what you call it in English. In Denmark, we call it AT flavor.
Okay.
It's because it's the electronic.
Yeah.
And the mechanic is not working together. There's some with the signal there, and then they mix with electric shock, and then everything is fine. And there's nothing. I just have to be on what you call it medicine for the next 3 months for my heart. For the blood flow, it has to be a bit thinner. The blood, so you don't get any what you call that when your face is hanging and you know what it is.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Just to ensure there's nothing nothing wrong, and if there's a small one floating around in your veins, then that should be no problem. So 3 months from now.
Just to thin the blood there and make sure there's no blood clots kind of causing any issues.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah. So, but I'm feeling good after. But
good.
That was a tough one mentally.
I can
because the heart is very important. If you don't have it, you don't have a life.
Well, that definitely.
Very strange.
And I know you take your training very seriously these days because you compete in CrossFit these days, don't you?
I have been. Now it's the new thing,
Yeah.
Training. That's a little bit the same, but then you break it up in this interval.
Yeah.
Then you go all in, I don't know, 20, 30 40, 1 minute,
Yeah.
and then you relax for the same time. You can do it exactly as you want, but it's has a big effect on your weight loss, and actually your muscle is staying, because actually I don't know why, but it's tough, but it's very good.
Yeah.
I think it's better than CrossFit for me, because CrossFit is like when you go, you just go. I just saw you do DT.
Yeah.
2 days ago. That's a tough one.
That killed me. No, the weight wasn't an issue. I only had 60 kilos. I think I was supposed to use 70 to do it properly.
70, yeah.
I've started a 12-week transformation challenge. So my goal is just to get fitter and lose some weight right now.
Yeah.
So I'm incorporating some bodybuilding, some CrossFit, and still a little bit of strength training, just to vary my training and keep it fun. But I usually look at doing 2 CrossFit workouts a week. And I just go through the CrossFit page and just pick out ones that I think, okay, I'll enjoy that. Because some of them, I look at them, I'm just like, no way am I doing that. But
you have to take your hat off, the CrossFitters.
Oh, they're incredible athletes. They really are.
Of course, you have for sure the strength to do all this, but the mobility.
Yeah.
That's where
if you watch me doing double DT, I'm literally just yanking the bar up. There's no technique on the power clean at all.
Curl or something. I don't know what it was.
Yeah. One of my issues right now is where I tore my Achilles. I really struggle with that extension of the ankles, and it's affected a lot of my strongman events. And it's just that movement and mobility is a bit difficult right now. It's like the leg doesn't work properly. It's it was about just over a year ago.
Oh,
so it's improving slowly. And I spoke to a doctor. He said it can take up to 2 years, and sometimes it just doesn't get back to. And I am seeing progress now, probably more so in the last few months than I have all of my recovery.
It's coming now if you're doing the right thing.
Just trying to.
It's coming along very. It's slowly. When you get over, it's very slow.
Yeah,
it's like if you have something, it's like, Jesus, what's going on here? But you have to be patient.
Yeah, you do.
Because if you're not, then you will be there forever.
Yeah.
And you will not. You will just get older and fatter. And
well, my goal is to get slimmer and older. So
yeah.
I think like yourself.
That was the main goal when I stopped Strongman in. When was it? 11 in Belfast. Mm-hmm. That was the last one. Glenn's show.
Yeah. The World Masters that Glenn puts on.
World Masters, yeah. I didn't train for it. I just came in. He called me 2 or 3 weeks before. And he said the magic word. I was not done yet. It's like he said, Viking, your fans need you. I said, oh, shit.
Glenn is great at pulling on those heartstrings and making.
Yeah, then I still had it, so I had to go. It took me 2 months to recover from that show, but I did okay. I came second, and I did a world record, still standing today. I think I'm the only guy, 40 plus, that pull all 5 flags.
Yeah, the flag hoist. That's quite cool.
I'm the only plus 40 guy to raise them all.
That's good
That's what I heard. I'm not sure.
It's a tough event as well.
Telling people. I never tried before. That was a tough one, the last one.
Definitely.
Have you tried those?
I've tried it before. Yeah, it's a hard event. It's
the last one is like shit.
Yeah.
It just pinch you down.
Actually, I think when you were refereeing UKs, we had to do that as the last event for the UKs the year I won, and I pulled a muscle in my quad on the third one. I think I got the third one, and I just went to pick up the fourth, and something just went in my leg. I wasn't sure if I'd win the title because of that, but luckily I'd done enough to hold on. But it was a nerve-wracking moment because it's an awkward event. I tried it again the year later, and I was much better at it. But it's one of those that you need a little bit of practice with, I think.
If you practice a bit, then I think it's possible to do faster.
Yeah.
But I just went for it. Say, okay, just take it slow on the first 3.
So you're the only master to do that.
And then the fifth one say, okay, belt off, and then you just pull like. It went down a little bit, but I just squeezed with all I know it was now or never.
Well, that's pretty cool, because I mean, there's some pretty good masters competing these days. To say you're the only one that's done that,
I am so happy I'm not coming in now. Because Mark Felix, is he 50? What 54?
Yeah, 54.
Excuse me, but what the going on?
It's not right, is it?
How is that? The grip is one thing. Then you can have that for.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, but he's good. He's really good. In all the other events also, he's very strong. Like, is he still 400 plus deadlift?
Oh, he's still a great deadlifter. I don't know what his max is right now, but he's, only the very top guys are beating him on deadlift. There's not many people that can still beat Mark on things like.
I've seen him pull 450 with stiff leg deadlift.
Yeah,
there's no legs in it, only back.
Well, that's just the way he pulls.
Yes,
but yeah, his back is
down, please, and lift a little bit.
Mark from a certain height is incredible deadlifter. He's very good, like on the Hummer deadlift at the Arnold's, especially when it's all about lockout strength. He's extremely good. And he's not weak by any means. He's a 400 plus deadlifter, but just when it's off the floor, that's probably his weakest area. If he gets it over his knees, he'll lock it out every single day. And
that's no problem.
Yeah,
no problem.
But then Nick Best as well, another great over 50, and then obviously
50 plus too.
Yeah, and now Zadrunas competes in the Masters, and Terry Hollins is doing the Masters, and it's just new guys every year. I'm
not going anymore. No, I'm too light.
Yeah. Well,
so I'm not too old, but I'm too light.
What do you weigh these days?
123.
And what were you when you were like at your prime in Strongman?
160.
Okay, so a big drop.
Yeah. I was only for a year or two, because then Strongman started to go more like, look like an athlete or something. Then you have to take some weight off of it. From one season to another, I lost 15, 20 kilos just to see how it works.
Yeah.
It was pretty okay. You get weak in some events, but then you get really good in some other ones.
Yeah.
Speed events. And then my best competition shape was around 42, 45.
Okay.
Something like that. But 160 was too much.
Yeah.
You couldn't get any pants or t-shirt but today they're even bigger.
They are, but it depends how big the person is. I think sometimes people try and get too big. I've made that mistake before. I got up to 170. It's the biggest I've ever been, but I wasn't my best at 170.
No.
And weirdly,
one you went or something.
Yeah, I think the best my deadlift was around 140 kilos, and I think my best sort of competition weight is around 150, 155, where I had a good combination of strength and athleticism. But it's getting that balance right, because you come lighter, you feel really fit, but then you give away that static strength. You can get really big and you're good at squatting and deadlifting and pressing, but you can't move. No. At 170, I remember I did a competition in Manchester, and I was good on like the log and things like that, but the moving was so hard, and I just, not even the moving, but the recovery between the events was hard. And just walking, you sort of get so much water retention, and you get the lower back pumps, and it was horrible. So
I don't miss that at all. I did in the beginning. It was okay to feel pumped all the time, but you can't even tie your own shoes without getting a nosebleed.
Yeah, that's not good.
Ridiculous, and that's not good for your body.
No.
It depends. It doesn't matter if you're fat or you are a big muscular guy. It's not good for your body.
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure on the body, especially as you get older, I think, as well. It's important to...
That's why I said after the last competition, I was thinking, what should I do now? And then I was just training, and actually I didn't enjoy it at all, because it was boring. The training is really boring if you don't have anything to do with it. Because the waiting position is, you use a lot. You don't train so much. You just wait for the next set.
Yeah.
Recover for the next set. I hate that. I just want to warm up, stretch, and go mad.
I've definitely noticed sort of changing the way I train right now. I get done in the gym much, much quicker than when I'm training for power or strongman.
You have to do that. That's if you want to be a powerlifter or strongman, the waiting
You need that rest period. It's
just like Jesus. I use a lot more time to stretch and to warm up, and then I make sometimes I make a workout takes maybe 15 minutes, and then it's all gone.
Yeah,
depends on what it is.
So how would you have trained in your prime then for strongman? Like how many days a week were you training? Kind of what was your training split normally?
With competition, or if you say up for the beginning of the season where you don't have any competition, you only do the training part. Yeah. For 3 months, around 5 times a week. Yeah. Plus minus. But when you start competing, you can't train that much because I had more than 20 competition in one season.
It's crazy.
And then you have to travel also, and then you have to, and body has to recover from traveling also. That's very tough. And then you just go home, clean your clothes, and get back to the airport. And then you have to push a workout or 2 in also. That's, you only go like downhill from after 3 months of training, then you're very good, and then it's just go downhill. Then you have to take some competition out of your calendar, just to recover and get ready for the important ones. But I thought that that season I was just like, let's see how many I can get. I think I got 24 or 25 competition in a year.
24, 25 competitions in a year.
I took 3 months off doing 0. No weight training at all. I was destroyed.
You must have been battered.
Really. Start drinking also. That's good for recovery.
Yeah, you forget about the pain.
No pain at all.
Well, I know what it was like back then. I mean, I remember early on in my career doing a lot of shows. I had 1 year, I think I did about 18 or 20 shows, and I really regret it. It's
very tough for your body.
Everyone I sort of train and talk to and give advice to now, I say be selective. Don't do every single comp. You know, I think you can compete like 4 to 8 times a year, depending on your level. You don't want to be going into like double figures and then beyond, especially with how heavy the shows are getting. It's
also ridiculous. I can see they're getting bigger. You know, I remember first time I met Brian Shaw. That was one of my, not last, but it was in 2007 in Russia. It was Siberia, I think.
Okay.
That was first time I saw Brian Shaw. He was a beginner, it was like 160 kilos.
Yeah.
That was the starting
As a
weight.
beginner. Yeah.
He just said, do you think I will be good? I said, I think you'll be very good. And I beat him there. So I'm very happy for that. But Jesus, start at a bodyweight 160 and then build. I don't know how heavy is he today? 200?
I'm not sure what he's weighing right now. He's brought his weight down a little bit, but he's been well over 200 at some points.
I think the biggest man I ever seen. You know, massive.
When you see him in person, just the thickness of his forearms and his, you know, just he's a big, thick-set man, very powerful, and it's, you know, he's had an amazing career as well.
He's one of the nicest, most calm guy, next to you, of course. But the way he talks and the way he acts, and he's just very nice, very gentle.
I've just been talking about him recently, actually, because he's obviously aiming for his 5th World's Strongest Man title this year. And obviously it's good. Sorry?
How old is he?
He's got to be about 38 now, I think. So I think he'll be one of the oldest guys to win it if he can manage to do it. And it's going to be tough. There's so many young up-and-coming guys. But with the situation of the world this year, there's a lot of the top guys pulled out of World's Strongest Man already. And with his experience...
Is he out?
No, sorry, who, sorry?
Matisse?
Lysis.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's pulled out. He's pulled out because he had a car. He was in a car accident a few months back. And he's really struggling still. And he wants to get himself in shape for the Arnolds next year. So he's pulled out. Obviously, Thor's out. There's no Zydrunas competing this year. Obviously,
I know who it's going to be then if he's not going to destroy himself. And if I say Polska.
Oh, Kiliszkowski has been on fire the last kind of couple of years, and I have to say I think that guy's going to win a few World's Strongest Man titles. He's dynamite, but he's again coming back from an injury. The events aren't the best for him at the moment that they've set at World's Strongest Man. There's a couple of events that he notoriously hasn't done that well in competition.
It's not bad, but it's not well.
It's not. I mean,
with the other guys. Then you can 400 now and deadlift, then you're last.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the Arnolds, he won 4 events out of the 6, but still didn't win because of that, one bad event. And it's you can never count him out. He's going to have a great shot, I think, of winning. But I think if Brian has a chance of winning a 5th title, this is the year for him.
When is it?
November.
November,
yeah.
That's in US or
in the States. So,
okay.
So he's looking good. It's just a hard year to predict though, because it's not like every year when you see all the competitions throughout the year and you see what kind of shape. We don't know what shape anyone's in really, so it's going to make it exciting.
Sneaking around and don't do YouTube anymore. Just
yeah. Anyway, Rene, let's take it back to the beginning for you. When what got you into strongman or just training in general? At what age were you?
Then we have to go back to when I was a little kid. Yeah, it was my granddad. I was not born on a farm, but I was almost raised on a farm with my grandparents. I loved to be there. And when I was very young, he said to me, "Be careful when you're lifting stuff, because your back has to hold, for your whole life. So be careful. But when you're young, when he had to do his nap time during the day, then I was out because I was young, and then I started lifting stuff. But he know young boys like me, so he was one day he was coming out and said, 'What did I say to you? You have to be careful. But now you don't listen. I have to show you.' And then this little, massive guy start lifting stuff, and I was like, okay. Then you can work for 8 or 10 hours a day because you don't destroy yourself if you do like I do. Then he learned me all the technique, and I was not even 14 years old, and then I load a 100 kilo corn sandbag.
Yeah,
really soft kind of things to a wagon, and he said that's how to do it. Then it's okay if you do it like that. This then is okay. Then you can do it. And then he said, "What do you want to do when you get old? Or get older?" I said, "I want to be a Formula 1 driver or a strongman."
Okay, that's very different.
Yeah, I didn't fit in a Formula 1 car, that's for sure. So it became a strongman, and then that changed my goal a bit when I was after competing a few years. I said my goal was to be world's strongest man. That must be the top goal for all of us. But actually, it was not like that. It was like, can I make this to my number one job, to make this for a living? And I did. That was the main goal.
So the focus was just to try and be a professional strongman, earn money from
it went through, and that was the main goal. Of course, it could be nice. I came second in Masters, if that counts, but it's okay. It's fine. I'm pretty happy with my performance, and all the cities you have seen, all the people you have met, and you still have connection to today. You can. It's very easy to just call or on Zoom or whatever you use and speak to guys. Sven and Magnus. We stay in touch, and I just had a conversation with what's his name, Adrian Smith from.
Oh yeah.
And also Badenhorst a month back or something.
Okay.
And how it's going, and that's nice. You know, it means a lot.
That's really
Friendship worldwide. You don't have to be sitting next to each other. Just take your phone and like here.
Yeah.
You're connecting. That's cool.
It's one of the great things about social media, I think. You know, being able to stay in touch with people you meet all around the world, and like you say, with Strongman, we've been able to travel everywhere. So it is great to just dip in, see what people are doing, keep an eye on things, and have a chat occasionally. It's one of the positive things with it.
In the beginning, it was like, okay, we stay in touch and blah blah blah, and then of course you don't hear anything.
Yeah.
Then I was my first show was in. It was in North Dakota, 98. Okay. I was invited. That was the same time as World Strongest Man in Morocco. But there were some pretty good guys. There was Jorma Ojanaho from Finland. He was the finalist before. And Chief Iron Bear was there.
Yeah. Chief Iron Bear Collins, yeah.
Yeah. He's quite a character.
I'm sure he is.
He's a nice guy. And there was Magnus Rare. He was there. He was a referee together with Marshall Eanes. Mm-hmm. I think there was the federation there. I can't remember the name of the federation, but it was really cool show. And then after the show, I was first time outside Denmark competing. I was winning. I won the show. I was over 5 or 6 days or something, 2 different cities. And then me and Jorma, we just, what's your address? It's not email address. What's your address? Because then I will send you a card. Like, what the hell? Today is just, let's talk on the table.
Yeah, pass me a phone number. That's great.
So the first Christmas, I got a Christmas card. I thought, shit, I have to write him back. How are you? Here's a picture of me lifting a stone. I still have contact with him today. I didn't see him
really nice.
after, but we still have contact. We are friends on Facebook today. But in the beginning, it was like, I sent you a postcard or something. That's nice.
Yeah, that's cool. Oh, that is good.
That was but I started 95 in Denmark. That was my first.
Denmark's strongest man, sorry.
Denmark's strongest man. I was qualified first. And then there was 12 guys. Fleming, he won his first there. Fleming Rasmussen.
Fleming was he was a great strongman, wasn't he?
Yeah, in late 90s, he was like untouchable.
Yeah.
We had some good battles. There was no doubt he was one of.
Is he still involved in the scene in Denmark or not really?
Last time there was in 17. Glenn, he had a show here in Denmark with the Danish Federation, and he was there to see. Cool. Invited cool. To see. We just talked a little bit, but he's not into that anymore. Maybe we should try to contact him.
Yeah, I might do. It'd be great to chat to him.
Yeah, he lost a lot of weight. Also, he was a big guy, but he's around the same as me. But we're getting older, and there's new hobbies.
Yeah, I think it's good to find new hobbies. It's important to keep your mind active and your body.
Also, because of your what you have been through, your body have a lot of pressure for all those years of lifting, and then you have to find what you call the right shell to be on. Training wise, healthy, getting lighter. Because it's not good for your body to be heavy. It doesn't matter how it looks, just to come down maybe to where you started. I started at 110, 15 or something like that. So it's getting closer. Mm-hmm. And the main goal was, that I forgot to say, the main goal was when I start training, I would like to lose the weight without diet.
Yeah.
So only training wise. And that's tough. In
the
beginning, it's easy because it's a new training form. CrossFit is like so different from Strongman because it's really, really hard. And the kilos was just coming off like nothing. But I have been around 122, 25 for a year or a year and a half. but the body is changing. You know, it don't look like the same. But still, you know, because when you do a heavy lift here and there or medium heavy, the body remember.
I was gonna say, do you still feel fairly strong? Like, you know, I can't imagine you're just a pipsqueak. So.
No. Just, if I push it, then I still can move some weights.
Yeah.
But I feel strange afterwards. Like you're sore, but painful sore. Yeah. Like really, you know how HIIT training is. If you do a lot of reps, then you get sore. Like
it's horrible.
Yeah, that's tough. But if you're not used to lifting heavy. It's been years since I've been lifting heavy. It's like, oh shit! It's like in your muscle. If it's like that, your pain is like all in the ends of it's like really bad. Yeah. I don't like that anymore. I did a triple, or was it? I can't remember, triple or 4 at 250 in deadlift on International Deadlift Day, just to honor the big Sigmason.
Yeah. Just nice.
And I feel that day after, it's like, Jesus, what was that? How do you do that?
Yeah.
I don't do more than 100.
Yeah.
Or less. But
really?
A lot of reps. Yesterday I did 735 reps in 21.5 minutes.
What workout was that?
It was just like HIIT training, but normal weight training.
Okay.
So no crazy, what you call pulse training.
Yeah.
It was like 45 on and 45 off. And there was some back training and some chest and leg training, single leg training.
So do you find now you just do a lot of high rep stuff? You don't tend to do much low rep, high weight kind of work?
No. Sometimes I do 5, 6, 7 reps, but then I do 90 seconds with 2 or 3 stations, and then you just go on and on. But with a good form, of course, don't just flying around. Mm-hmm. And then a good form, and then you rest for 30 seconds, and then you go again.
Yeah.
Then you set the target for 10 rounds. But that's 15 minutes in total. Mm. You have to work 20 minutes.
That's one of the great things with the CrossFit workouts, that you can get a great workout done in a short period of time, can't you?
You'll get destroyed in 10 minutes.
Yeah. Well, I did that workout the other day, and I was dying. Honestly, I only posted 1 round because that was a better round. It was starting to get worse.
What round was that? Was the first of it?
I think it was about the 3rd or 4th round that I posted, but I did 10 as well, 10 rounds. But honestly,
double DT.
I didn't need to do anything else after that. I was done.
What was your time? Did you time it?
I didn't time it, if I'm honest. I was having about 45 to maybe 90 seconds rest between sets as it got towards the end. So.
That's a lot.
So
it took
a while.
20 plus minutes.
I was okay to like round 5, and then after round 5, it was just like my grip was struggling, and I've got a strong grip, but it's just different. It's all different to what we're used to. I'm used to holding heavy weights for 1 minute with a big weight. You know,
it's because of your endurance. You can't, the acid can't come out.
I mean, deadlifting 60 kilos for me is nothing. But after doing everything else, it's
just like how you say in England, it's taking a piss or something.
Yeah, I can one-handed snatch a 60-kilo barbell, but by the end, it was hard to deadlift 60 kilos.
And that's really first time I tried DT with. Was it? Is it 70 kilos? 70.
It's supposed to be 70, and I only used 60.
Yeah, I tried. That's they call it a barbell condition, and
barbell complex. Yeah,
5 rounds. Jesus, that should be nothing. And I did it in 8 minutes. I was totally destroyed. And then a few weeks after, I tried a double.
Yeah.
So okay, then let's say 16 minutes, and then I put 2 more, and said, okay, 20. Then it should be fine. It's over.
Yeah.
When it hit 20 minutes, I was not even close to get finished. It took me 24 or 5 minutes. totally destroyed after a double
It's
BT with normal.
I've got to say, I love watching the top CrossFit athletes. You know, see like Matt Fraser.
Really, you have to take your hat off, because when you see them in live, you know, it's like very small, very fit, but they can move incredible weights.
And strong as well.
Really, weightlifting strong.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Claire Toomey, Tia Claire Toomey, she's like really strong. Her lifts would be competitive in any like powerlifting meet. She's a strong girl, and then on top of that strength is the endurance and the ability to do all the different events.
There's no stop.
No,
just go.
Yeah,
I remember my first CrossFit competition was it was a team, me and another guy, and I could see it on his face when he picked me. It was like, oh shit, I have to be with that big guy. And we had to start with actually it was not so bad. We had to start with the double grace.
Yeah.
And that was fine for me. We just, you go, I go. Take one, he take one. So that was pretty fast. And we was, but then you have to run 800 meters.
That's when it would go wrong for me.
Then it was pretty okay. But then we came back and we had to do a Karen. Is it 150 wall ball?
I'm not sure which one Karen is. I know Grace.
But 150 wall ball on top of that.
Yeah.
Jesus. Then, then we start to, from top 3 to like, Jesus, that was my first one. And I think I came 5 or 6, with my friend there.
Yeah, that's, well, I mean, I think as strongmen, something like Grace, maybe we're not technically good at it, but that power can carry through. I've done my version of Grace before, where I was just sort of probably somewhere in between Grace and Isabel. I was sort of just kind of bringing the weight up, pressing it, bringing it straight back down. And
I saw Eddie Hall do it,
I saw Eddie Hall. I did it about a year before Eddie. I did it in 55 seconds, which is pretty good. Right. But I think Eddie went a little bit quicker. So I might try and train to beat Eddie's time now.
I think it's Grace. It's clean jerk.
It's clean and jerk. Yeah. I mean, if you watch like Eddie or myself, it was more of a clean into a press. It wasn't a proper jerk.
US swing with a kettlebell.
Yeah, pretty much. You just.
I don't know. I think the rule is they have to touch your shoulders. I don't know. They're very strict about that, but it's not possible for you.
No, for us guys, it's not. And I'm not here saying, oh yeah, I could come into a competition and beat the CrossFitters. I know I couldn't, but there's certain things as strongmen we can be good at. And then there's things that we would just die at as well. So, shorter sprint movements, things like a 500 meter row, I'm pretty good at. But you put me on a 10,000 meter row, I'm going to die. And
you will win the first 500.
Yeah.
What's it, 5?
115.
That's good. Have you checked the world record for
the world record at the time when I checked was 114, or the best time in the world that year? I think there's a guy that's done 110, but that was a long time ago. I don't know if that's official or not, but I think the 114 or something like that is pretty fast. I've got a video of me doing the 115, and some rowers trying to give me advice, because technically, again, the technique's not perfect. I was kind of just pulling as hard as I could.
Short movements?
It was fairly long movements, but even like the start, I was kind of told I should do like a short half pull to start with, and then kind of get into the full pulls.
Get the wheel start.
Yeah. Whereas it was just from the start pull. The machine's kind of coming up off the floor. It's plenty of power, but no finesse. But for that 500 meter distance, I think strongmen, we have enough like energy to push hard for a minute and 15 seconds, because it's perfect time for strongman events. Yeah. It's when you go beyond that minute and a half,
that's it.
Then we're just completely burnt out. So that's the difference. But I enjoy it. I enjoy certain aspects of CrossFit, definitely. And I love kind of incorporating into training, but there's certain things I know I would struggle at big time.
I know my first, online, it was called the European Masters Throwdown. Have to qualify for that with a friend. And that was a few good workouts for me, but there was also a few not so good. And when I came to the double unders, I can do singles, that's fine.
Yeah.
But it's up here when you have to do double unders. I don't know something's going. But my friend said, just jump as high as you can, and then. Okay, then I got 14, double unders. That was a record. But it was not, I ended, I think it was 130 or 40 in my age division.
Yeah.
And I lost a lot of points there because of that.
Yeah.
But then we come to the pressing event, strict press, and we came back. But I came top, I don't know.
But it's like with strongman. It's like with strongman, though, isn't it? To be a great athlete, you need to be good at everything. Yeah. It's not just about being good at one event. What was your favorite event in strongman?
Wheel flip.
Tire flip, yeah.
Tire flip, yeah. For many years, I didn't train it because I didn't lose. Then I made a few mistakes, and then I lost a few runs. And I said, okay, you have to start training. And then I start training with tires, not so heavy, but uphill.
Okay. Yeah, it makes it a lot harder.
It feels heavy, and not from the floor, but from the midsection. So that's why I became pretty good. I've even beaten Swin and Mayus.
Yeah.
So I think at that time, maybe I was the best there. I don't know.
Nice. It's interesting listening to you say you did it uphill, because I was talking to Kiliuszkowski, the Polish guy, and he does like his farmers and yoke uphill as well to make it harder. So it's not he doesn't have to go heavier, but it's actually harder to do.
It's actually when you practice yoke or farmers uphill, then that increase your speed on a flat ground afterwards. But to maintain or to hold that speed, you have to train it downhill also, but slowly. You walk slowly, so you have this the muscle that will break your speed down. Not you don't have to break the speed down, but to hold it when you're on a top.
Yeah, you don't want just the momentum to kind of take.
Yeah, because if you don't have that, then when you run fast, you can't catch it. You can't catch yourself, then you fall down. So that's actually very good. That's why he's really fast.
Yeah,
yoke farmers walk. I've never seen anything like that. I think
he's unbelievable.
You're pretty fast too.
I've actually never lost a yoke to Kiliuszkowski ever. I'm probably the only person in the world that can say that, but he's improved since we last kind of went head to head. So
not counting anymore.
Actually, I lie. I say I've never lost to him. I didn't. He beat me at Worlds last year when I got injured, but before that, I hadn't lost to him on the yoke. And we've gone head to head a number of times, but it was my best event. But he's gone and taken it to another level, and his farmers walk as well. I mean, I was good at farmers, but he is just incredible.
That legs or feet, it's like drumsticks.
Yeah, he's not got the biggest legs in the world or anything, but he's rapidly fast. Incredible athlete, he really is. I think it's only a matter of time till he wins a world title. If he don't
get a serious injury, then he will win for sure. Yeah. And you can, for him, that's only number one. He don't care about second or third.
Oh, second would be a disappointment for him.
Yeah,
he's so talented, and you just see. Like I said, at the Arnolds this year, he won 4 of the events. He's got, we all have events that we're good at. Like I had a couple of events I was arguably the best in the world at. Same with you, like tire flip, you're pretty much the best in the world in your prime. Yokes and farmers, I was pretty much the best in the world in my prime. He's good at so many events.
Yeah.
He doesn't have just one good event. He has about 10 that he's the best in the world at. And then he's just got this one...
He's bad in maybe deadlift, but he's very strong still. But
he's a 400 plus kilo deadlifter. So when people say he's bad at deadlifting, it's laughable. Because you imagine in your day being a 420 kilo deadlifter, it was a big deadlift. It's just we do have so many good deadlifters now. That
in different, they're different height. They're very tall,
Yeah.
In my days, it was like if you were 2 meters or like Magnus, it was like deadlift. No.
Yeah.
It's not possible. But hey, what's going on? They're 2.5, 2.7. It's just like pulling 400 or 500 kilos.
Yeah, it's really crazy.
How is that possible? If you
the evolution of the strongman over the last 20 years, 10, even the last 10 years, but 20 years, it's been insane. I think there's always been talented, strong guys out there, but it's the improvement on everything. Like the weight that they use now for farmers and yokes and those type of things, that the Atlas stones. I mean, next weekend, Tom Stoltman is going for, I think, like a 300 kilo Atlas stone.
Is it coming now?
Yeah. Which, could you imagine someone lifting a 300 kilo Atlas stone back when you guys were competing? I mean, when I started, the heaviest stone was 180 at World's Strongest Man. You know, now you've got guys lifting a 300 or attempting a 300 kilo stone. That's ridiculous. It's not so much the powerlifting strength that's improved a lot. That's improved a little bit. It's obviously improved, but it's the other things. You know, the technique's improved, obviously, on the ability to train on all these events is better now. But it is scary to see how strong these guys are getting.
Yeah, but of course it's they have the nutrition is better, the food is better, the recovery is better. They are really you know compared to me. And when you go further back, it's like strongman old days was like, okay, we take a steak and a beer and that's it. Then we are ready for tomorrow. But it's a whole new league today.
Very much so.
Very, very serious. It's like everything is like you can't put a finger on anything. It's just,
now you got guys turn up with teams behind them. They've got their physios, chiropractors, their nutritionists, their coaches, and it's a whole team that turns up for athletes now. And it's a lot more professional. I used to just turn up on my own bag. I'm sure you were the same, you know. But I
didn't want to have anybody to carry my bag. I just leave it alone. I do it myself. I just maybe a little bit too not want to.
It's got to be a good thing, though, that the sport's getting bigger and these guys are taking it more professionally. And, you know, hopefully there's more recognition coming into the athletes now and the sport can hopefully keep growing.
I think it's going the right way. It's the only thing I think it's a little bit what you call sad, or it's okay to do world records, but it's like the events is the same. It's the same equipment or the same stones, and back in the days. Now I'm gonna sound like an old grumpy one.
That's right. I'm usually the old grumpy one, so it's good.
So that's fine. But it's like it could be fun to see if you have a competition here, for example, in Denmark. Then you'll find a place where there's some history about strongman, and then they have to lift those kind of things to see who's the strongest there. If like when I compete, they have one time a year to have a competition called the World Record Breaker. All the records, all the events was possible to get a world record in. Yeah, and maybe take 1 or 2 extra during the year world records. But now it's like every week we're gonna see online world records. Of course, that's how it is today, but it's still, you know, the competition wise and the events is like it's the same.
You'd like to see some variety in
some new things.
Yeah,
new thinking. I don't know what it should be, but a lot of events came from here, from Denmark.
Places like Denmark, Scotland, Iceland, in Spain. There's a lot of kind of traditional strength events in these countries. Yeah, it's definitely, it's good. I like to see variety, like yourself. I like to see various different new challenges sometimes. I think one of the reasons we've just seen these records recently, it's just been a funny year. It's
of course you need something else. It's just gonna.
Yeah, it's affected all sports so much. So I've enjoyed the kind of feats of strength, but definitely I'd rather see proper contests going on with a good mixture of events. And I think that's the fun thing with strongman. It's like when I do prediction videos, people always kind of say who they think is going to win, but I'll wait till I see the events before I say who's going to win, because strongman can vary very much. So, you know, I think we could all pick out like 5 or 6 events that would really suit us in a show.
Cool,
and then you could put 5 or 6 events that really wouldn't as well. So
and then it's a different story.
And that's one of the great things with the sport. And I think, like you say, it'd be nice to see some variation from the standard events that always get into every single show.
Yeah. Just like I was talking before about we had a competition for some years. I was invited 2 times to in a city called Aarhus in Jylland, and that was every year for I don't know 10 years or something. They call it the Hercules of the city, and that was the old city of Aarhus. So there was a kind of museum today.
Yeah.
Then we had to carry around flipping or lifting at almost everything. We had the, you know, loading events with old iron wheelbarrows, really heavy stuff. But that was so much fun, and very good television also. That was in the late 90s. I was on television, you know, it was really big. That was fun because you didn't know what to expect. You just come and, you know, there was a loading event, you know, there was a wheelbarrow, but what kind of? There was nothing.
You couldn't really prepare on it.
No, just okay. Shit, that's a wheelbarrow, 500 kilos almost in the handle. So like, the wheel was sitting way out there, and that was big fun. Big fun.
It's funny, like talking to a lot of the guys from the past, they'd like to see more variety in some of those kind of traditional older events, I guess, that were just, I mean, if you could bring back an event from the past that you don't see too much now, which one would you choose? Which one did you like to do, and which one did you like to watch the most?
Has to be face to face, or even, you know, not 2 guys, but maybe 4 or 5 guys battling out some kind of a medley with different things. You have to push something, and then you have to load something on that things you're pushing, and then you have to run back with a wheelbarrow, something like that. Really pushing, you know, endurance.
You like those type of events?
Yeah, that's very good also for the audience to see.
That's sick as well, because they're the type of events where big strong guys just start to die.
Yeah,
you just start collapsing on the way back, or like how many times you do like an anchor and chain drag and you end up falling on your ass, and you just know beforehand. Actually, I did it in the UK as the year you were the referee. It was like a duck walk, which I hate duck walk, and into a really heavy anchor and chain drag. And I saw how hard it was, and I just in my head I was like, "What's the time limit of this event?" I think it was 90 seconds or something. I was like, "Okay, this is going to be hell for 90 seconds." And as long as I could get that into my head, it was fine, because I could cope. Right, it's just give everything for 90 seconds, and you can get through it. But you just know before you even start, it's going to be a horrible experience.
On the way back, it's going to burn. Really.
I was so pleased as well, because I won that event, and it was up against an up and coming Tom Stoltman, and he was doing amazing. So it was a big achievement for me to take the win on that, because they're not my kind of events at all. I prefer either the speed events that are over with quickly, or the static events. So I'm not a fan of those events, but they are good to watch for television purposes. Seeing these guys head to head in a medley and battling is always interesting.
We had one of the last Danish nationals. We had that was a car company was sponsoring. We had 2 pickup trucks, and then you have to push it in a 30-meter lane, and then you have to run from the pickup truck. When you start pushing it, then you have to run out to pick a big, heavy kind of sandbag, 120 kilos, and put it in the pickup truck and push it a little bit more, and then was one more sack, and then push it a little bit more, and then you can't push it all over the line before you load 3 or 4 sacks. That one was...
That's cool. That's a cool event.
That was... Everybody was lying all over the place. I remember we had a guest, Kalle Lane from Sweden.
Yeah, I know Kalle.
He was just laying in the middle of grass where the competition was like, is anybody going to take care of him? He was like, legs, everything. He said he never felt so bad. And I was myself also. It took me around 1 minute and 15 seconds to get it in over the line. It took me a good 20 minutes to recover from that.
You didn't want to do it again then after?
Then you push the truck, because when you come back, the truck is not rolling anymore. It's stand still. Then you have to start it again. I was like, I don't know.
Was it indoors or outdoors?
Outdoors.
Oof. That's even tougher.
Grass.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Not flat and nice, smooth. No, not a green. No, really bumpy.
Pushing or pulling any vehicle on grass is a lot harder than on concrete.
So tough. But, people liked it a lot.
I bet.
Standing with the beers and...
Yeah, I think that's a cool event. I like it. I'm going to have to remember that one.
Put it on one of your shows next time.
Are you still involved in Strongman at all, like in Denmark? Because I know you got a couple of good guys over there. Mikael Licht is very good. He's extremely strong, but I don't see too many Danish strongmen these days. What's the standard like over there?
Mikael is there. He's it's been a year or something since I last spoke with him. He's very strong, shoulder wise. He's like unbelievable for his size. But I don't know how much more he has in the tank. I'm not sure. There's a lot of injuries also. We use the same chiropractor, so sometimes we meet there in the lobby. So, are you okay? It's very stiff and big. I'm just a skinny electric guy now. But I can't see at the moment. We don't have new guys coming to, not in that league we have now in Europe and the world. But I'm still involved. We have my old powerlifting, weightlifting club. Every year we have a meet.
Yeah.
I'm the referee there, and they have 3, 4. They have women group, and they have three other groups from 90 to 90 plus, and plus 120. Yes, for beginners, something like that. It's okay. They've been there before, but still okay.
Okay.
25 athletes or something. We do it every year, and it's a big success. It's for amateurs, but it's really nice.
Hopefully you'll see the standard keep growing year on year. And
you can see if there's somebody is like, oh, they really want to do that. And you can also see those that really don't want to do that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you guys have had a few great strongmen in the past, obviously yourself included, but there's been a number of good guys from Denmark. So it'd be good to see some new ones coming through in the next few years.
Hopefully they'll come. Yeah. We have in the smaller division, I want to say 105 minus.
5? Okay.
Yeah, that's a few good ones. I think we had the world's strongest man in minus 90.
Yeah.
He's not from this area here, but his name was Brian Müller.
Okay.
Very, he was a weightlifter and powerlifter, and he went to, I think he won when he was in Finland a few years ago.
Yeah.
He became the world's strongest man.
Nice.
On the 90. So, and he was like, he could even, the big ones in Denmark easily beat them.
Yeah. There's some talented smaller guys out there. We've got a few in the UK, and they're just unbelievable. You just for like size, like pound for pound, incredible athletes. Just the numbers that they lift.
What's his name? He was also Sadler.
Darren Sadler. Yeah.
Darren Sadler. Yeah. He was like really strong.
He was. Yeah.
Was he world's strongest man? And
He was, I believe I think he won the under 105s for IFSA in the World's Strongest Man, and he competed at World's Strongest Man a number of times as well himself. Nearly made the final a few times, and you know, he's in charge now of Giants Live. He's heavily involved.
Together with Colin.
Those two work together for Giants Live, so cool. they put on some great shows.
I seem to really have to, when all this Corona is over, I have to come over and see.
Definitely, we'll do some CrossFit together.
Oh yeah. for the crowd.
Yeah, why not? Maybe we'll try and get Eddie Hall's record on Grace.
Yeah, we take all the shine away from the guys. Look over here, gray hair.
Rene, it's been great to catch up with you. It's really, really good to talk to you. You had a great career, a big part of Danish Strongman. Thank you very much for coming on. If people want to follow you and follow what you're doing with your CrossFit, are you on social media?
I am on Instagram. It's called the Minkwitz Rene, or the Rene Minkwitz or something.
Brilliant. We will add you to the comments below so people can find you. Thank you very much. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this Talking Strongman with 10 times Danish strongest man, Rene Minkwitz. We'll be back with more strength action soon. Take care. While you're here, guys, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my awesome strength content.